Hi everybody, it's Candy with The Art of Planning. I am so excited to finally share this project with you. I made my first ever journal. I made it. I did it. And I just literally finished it, like from the start to the end. I made my first journal. So I'm not going to go on and on about it. I'm just going to share it with you. Literally from the coffee dyeing papers to the binding, which I just finished. It's been a long time in the making. I spent months and months watching videos, sharing with people. YouTube people were so good to share, give me ideas, and kind of tell me how to do things. And I literally spent a long time feeling comfortable before I even started it. So if you have questions, ask them down in the comments whenever we get finished. There are a couple of people that that I spent a lot of time with. They didn't necessarily spend time with me, but they kind of became my YouTube mentors because I watched so many of their videos. I will link them in the comments. If for some reason I forget to, then you say something to me in the comments, okay? I will link them below this video. And I'm going to mention them right now. One of them is Gayle Agostinelli. She's incredible. She does a lot of craft with me, so you can just sit there and watch. Diane H. That's how her channel is listed, Diane H. So I don't know the full last name. And Johanna, Johanna Clough. She's British, I think, and she's the one that I watched this morning before I finished binding this journal. So I told you I wasn't going to talk a bunch before we got through it. So what I want to do is we're going to go through. Now, I know I've showed you this journal before. It was not nearly in the stage that it is now. But I'm going to show you my thought process, the materials that I kind of used, and then how I will use it. So it's in kind of a completed journal stage right now. It's ready for me to use as a journalist kind of intended. Now here's what I'm afraid is going to happen. I'm afraid that as we start this and I kind of go through it, that we're going to run out of time. So if we do, what I'll probably just do is kind of stop at a place, and then I'll do a second video, just kind of pick up there and finish it. I don't have a certain stop place in mind and a start for another, so we're just going to kind of wing it, if that's okay with you. So this says on the beginning, relationships. Duty makes us do things well, but love helps us do them beautifully. So this whole journal is designed to, I'm going to use it as a memory keeper for mom and dad. So right now, again, it is ready for me to use and start writing in and start putting things in. Again, I coffee dyed paper, and then I had just a paper grouping of things, and I coffee dyed those also. You're going to notice a lot of things in here. I've torn them. I didn't cut. I didn't want that kind of a look. I want it to look more antique type, a little more rough. I didn't want it to be nice and refined. So I did a lot of layering. I did a lot of antiquing around the edges with ink. I'm going to flip this open, and then I'm going to make sure that it's in the middle, which it's not even close to. Okay, so any page that's left with some space is a place that I can either write on, I can put something else on it, I can put pictures on it, I could put other special things, other memories. I want to wait and show you a few things that I'm going to do, but I can write on this, and I do plan to do a lot of writing here. But you'll also know that you'll also notice that there's a lot of pocket room for me to put things in. This is a ledger sheet, right, that I've used. So, okay, so here's a pocket that I can tuck things away. I want to tuck things away light. In some way, shape, or form, Dad had a lot of ties. I mean, he was one of the best dressers. And I have literally tubs of ties. So in some way, I want to use some of his ties. I don't know if I'll tuck them in little tuck spots. I'm not sure exactly. And until this point, I've designed the journal with those things in mind to leave me lots of places to put things like this. I'm not sure how I will go forward. As a matter of fact, yesterday I came to the point where I cleaned things up, I put them away, organized, because I felt like I was at a place where I just kind of lost. I'd worked at it so long, I thought I can't do any more good here. As a matter of fact, I'm feeling kind of frustrated, so I had to put everything up for a while. But this morning, after I bound it and started looking at it, I thought, that's okay. I guess I'm finished with the journal part. So that was kind of a relief too. Sometimes you have to step away to get some perspective. So any tuck spots like that, I can use to save special things that I want to save, to show things. My goal being, I don't want tubs of things in the bottom of a closet. I want them where I can remember them, where I can see them, where I can share them, things like that. This is another sheet of paper, coffee dyed, and then this was actually baked in the oven on an old tin that had an old cookie sheet that had a pattern on the bottom of it, and then it comes out with this kind of design. This little lace tab here, I used a lot of laces. My mother/grandmother had a lot of laces, and I used them throughout here a lot. This needs to be glued down a little bit, doesn't it? My mom and dad sang a lot of duets together. My dad sang with a quartet of men in the Methodist Church. One of their songs that I will forever remember is I Fly Away, I'll Fly Away. I have several different hymnals and different music pieces, and at first I thought, I'm going to take those pages and just use them in the journal. And then I thought, when it came to it, I thought, I can't do it. I cannot take pages out of these hymnals and whatever. So I ended up copying pages and tea or coffee dyeing them, and then just putting the copies in there. Because I don't know, I couldn't take those pages out of the hymnals. So it worked just as well to make copies of them. And I just used different papers, different sizes, different things. And I also, almost everything I inked around to kind of antique them. This is just a smaller piece of paper. I doubt that you can see very well. This is a stamp on this design. It's a stamp in gold, and it's very almost faded, which I loved. So I put that on a piece of paper, tore around it, put those wings there, and then did the stamping on it. A little doily that's just in there. This page I love too. This is another pocket where I can put whatever I want in there. And this was from the paper grouping I used. It says, when you stop and look around, this life is pretty amazing. 2 pieces of washi down here. And again, I can tuck whatever I want in there. I coffee dyed a whole slew of stuff before I started, and then it was just there for me to use however I wanted it when I put the book together. Okay, over here, this is another little pocket, this little corner right here, and I will put some more bookmarks in there. And then I have on this stamp the page. Oh, I know what I want to do with that. So they're little reminders like that. This, I love layering things and having a whole bunch of tags and a whole bunch of pockets. You guys know that just in the planner pages. Got you all wonky there, don't I? Okay, so this is a little sack, so you can tuck something in there. Again, it's just been kind of inked around. This says unbelievably blessed. I grew up with the most incredible family. And I just feel like I was unbelievably blessed. I have the most wonderful sister, and Mom and Dad were just incredible. You know, you don't really appreciate those things. Back when I was growing up, I didn't know that families could be, I can't think of the right word. Let's just use wonky. But I didn't know that there were families that weren't adjusted correctly. Those are not the right words. So I'm just going to stop while I'm ahead. Okay, little tuck spot. Another little tuck spot. And then it was put on this page so that behind the envelope can be another tuck spot where I've got a tag. So we can just do all sorts of tucking there. I can write things on this, on the front, on the back. I can write memories. I can write dates. I can put things right there. I can put more things on the page and around it. So I can write on a tag and slip it in there. So there's just tons that I can do on this page. So that's kind of what it was designed for. I can do writing here. I can do writing there. This is a doily that came from the shop that Mom and I had. So I've got that tucked in there. It's kind of a special memory. Again, a little pocket area right here. So things can tuck in and things can tuck in. So I can write on those and then I can keep things, special memories or whatever right there. So I can use as much or as little as I want in here. Another thing right there I also have, I wanted to show you. This is another piece of music from the hymnal. There's Power in the Blood. So we grew up in the old Methodist church, and those are the songs that I was used to. So this, I mean, this could go on a page like that if I wanted, or I can put writing on here. Or now's the part where I will build the journal into something very personal. So now I can throw the journal in a bag when I go someplace, and I can have my journaling time like I want. So there's just some more pages I can do some things with. This, I got the idea from some of the people that I watched. This, see how that's on there? Just take it off. And then it becomes a fold down envelope where I can do more journaling. I can write more memories. I could tuck some things in there. We have, my sister and I have, some of the letters that our parents wrote to each other when Dad was away at college. And I mean, it's nothing that I will ever open. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of those letters, the front of them on the copy machine. I'm going to make a copy of them to just show the addresses. And then I'm going to antique that coffee diet, and I'm going to put the front of those envelopes in here. I'm never going to look at those letters. They're too personal, but I did want to keep them, and it'll be fun to have the addressed envelopes in here. So, and then can write on there, can write on here. We can have this full. So it's really designed to, I mean, there's a lot of memory keeping that I could do in that journal. Have to check every now and then. I'm on the floor filming. This, right now, filming's kind of a challenging thing. Okay, here's the middle. We're halfway through. This, again, tuck spot. I can write up here. I can put something else up here. I can tuck in here. Here's another piece of some of the lace that we can use in here. So, and I hand bound that. I mean, not that it's any Big deal. It was so easy. But last night my intent was to staple bind it. I have a long stapler. My intent was to staple bind it, and I just couldn't. As I was kind of putting it all together, getting stuff packed up, I even had my stapler, my long stapler, pulled out, and I just couldn't make myself. I mean, everything else was so hand done. I couldn't make myself put the staples in. I just couldn't do it. So I looked up some videos on YouTube and found out how to bind it by hand, and I thought, I can do that. I'm going to bind it by hand, because, I mean, really, can you see putting staples in that after everything else that I had done? I just couldn't make myself do it. So I, again, pulled up the YouTube from Johanna Clough on how to do that, and I had the tools to do it, so I just hand bound it. And the rest of that story is I'm planning on making 2 more of these journals to work in to follow this. So I want to have 3. This is called a signature. Just the journal's called a signature. So my plan is to have 2 more signatures to have a series of 3. And I couldn't mess up on the first one and staple it, because I just knew I wouldn't like it. So here's the deal, folks. We are just about out of the time. I usually try to keep my videos at a certain time. This will be a good place to stop, I think. So I am going to go ahead and stop. And I have several other things pulled to show you what I personally am going to use in the journal and how I am going to start using it. So I think I'm going to stop right now, and then I will pick up on kind of part 2 of I did my own journal. So if you have questions, if you have comments, go ahead and link them. I'm going to get the second part done right after this, so it'll follow shortly. And okay, that's telling me I'm done. And then, okay, I can do this. And then that'll be coming up next. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I've absolutely loved doing this journal, and I will be doing a lot more things like this also. So you guys know I appreciate you so much. I can't believe our little YouTube family's grown by leaps and bounds, and I appreciate you all so very much. I will see you real soon with part 2 of this, okay? Thanks. Appreciate you. Bye.